Hi everybody, this is Jenny with Cosmic Hearts Healing, coming here today to talk about learning how to build your energetic shield. I can only speak from my own personal experiences and how my body works and how my energy works. This is what I know to be true to me, okay? This is how I look at energy. I like to use anger because it's a easy one to explain. If I get into toxic shame, if I get into abandonment, those go like really deep. So anger is an easy one to start with. I always look at energy, that there is a higher vibration, let's just say an angel, God, guru, goddess, whoever you see wanting to bring you up into that vibration. So there is something called healthy anger, and there is a archangel who wants to keep you there, like teach you there, like bring you up to that energy. And then there is a lower energy, a lower vibration that wants to keep us tied to the bondage of that. I believe that we can channel these spirits unknowingly. When I was focused on working on gratitude, finding peace, not wanting to fall into anger, and an argument came up, I channeled some beautiful words that I know were not mine. And I walked away from that conversation like, holy crap, like where did that come from? Because it wasn't my normal state of being. I knew it was something that I channeled. I knew it was something spirit wanted to come out of me. And at the same point, when we are angry, we could be channeling as well. If you ever have those moments of, what did I just say? I just walked away and so much came out of me, like, those states of being back in 2015 was what was kind of my norm. Like if I fell into unhealthy anger, like, shut up, don't talk to me that way, like da-da-da. It's like those were normal states of being. So when I even channel the lower entity at that time, I wasn't even aware. But when I started to raise my vibration and I started to channel like more archangely higher vibrations, I was like, whoa, like that is not a part of me. That's not a normal part of me at that time. So, so that's how I always see energy. There's a higher vibration trying to teach you, and there's a lower vibration. And if we open the door to that, it allows us to channel that, to become that, to learn. And then if we fall into the lower vibrations, you're doing the same thing. You're opening up the door to channel stuff like that. You're opening up to connect to that, to feed that vibration. And I don't want to feed lower vibrations. I'm more focused on the higher ones. So going back to a shield. First, using the energy of anger, I had to learn balanced anger. So we heal 4 ways: emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and then our physical world or our physical body. So I had to do logical research about how your mind works when you're in anger. And I was reading articles. I'm not scientific, so I'm not going to recall this. But I do know, like, the underlying thing. When you are angry, your brain goes into, like, overdrive, and it will block where you cannot hear. So if you're trying to teach a child something and you're screaming at that child is not going to be able to hear because you're putting her brain into overdrive and blocking her from actually hearing, or blocking him or her from actually hearing you. If you can stay calm in the moment and talk to a child, they will hear you better. They will process you better because you're keeping their nervous system and their brain in a state of receiving rather than a state of like fight or flight or, So I had to learn that, and I had to learn how to keep myself balanced throughout situations. Anger is meant to be felt. It doesn't mean we have to project it. There is a healthy state of anger. Even when I share anger, if the very few times the past year or two, it's usually been of don't treat me like that. I don't deserve that. I'm walking away. I don't fall into anger of wanting to spit, spat, or just throw out anger. Anger is meant to be felt. It is not meant to be projected. It is there to teach us. It's there to guide us. So once I learned how to balance it more, my shield was getting stronger. If you think about your healing within your chakras within you, so wherever the anger is at within your chakras, it could be in lots of places. You could need to grow your crown chakra. You could need to connect more to spirit to channel in those higher vibrations. It could be in the third eye of where you need wisdom. You need to understand how the brain functions. You need to understand the nervous system. So you could need that third eye expansion. Third eye to me is wisdom, growing in wisdom, knowing how to face lower vibrations. It could sit in the throat chakra where, your will, like wanting to speak your will, where we really need to be speaking from divine and our truth. So like I said, this anger could be sitting in any of these chakras. So as we heal our chakras within, we're healing our auric field, okay? Our auric field, our emotions, our mental. So you're naturally shielding. When you're healing anger within yourself, you're naturally building that shield in your auric field. And then when someone comes at you with anger, you don't absorb it as much. Because as an empath, you don't need to absorb it, because you've already healed it within yourself. And your shield is so strong that it can't penetrate you anymore. So it's almost like I tell my spirit guides, look, if I haven't healed anger, or if I haven't healed this underlying thing, then show me why I'm still absorbing this. And if I have, I demand my shield. Like, I've done the inner work. I demand not to absorb this anymore. I want to embrace and own my own energy. I want to embrace and love my own energy, that I don't want to feel this outside stuff anymore. And I believe that's how it works. Now, if someone's angry with you and you feel you have balanced anger and you don't project and you stay in a healthy mindset, and when they're angry, you have to tap into a little bit deeper. You got to go deeper. What is the underlying trigger? Not just this anger, but what is this anger? Is it the codependency? Is it abandonment? Is it triggering toxic shame? Like, what is the underlying energy between this right now? Is it because I need boundaries? There might be some other reason that you're absorbing this what is happening in your world. In my belief, in my story, if I've healed abandonment, I'm not going to project it. I'm not going to absorb it unless spirit is showing me something in a person they want me to see, unless you're on my table and I'm trying to tap into you, okay? So there's two types of people. People who were, as a child, they just learned to shield themselves, how to be happy on their own. And they just don't really absorb the outside world. They don't see a need to it. They don't have that empathic skills. One way or the other is not right or wrong. It is just how we were programmed. One is not better than the other. Don't put anyone on a pedestal. Don't make anybody lesser. Don't make anybody higher. It doesn't matter. They're both the same. They're both, if you are an unbalanced empath, you are the same as someone who's used to being in their own energy and not knowing how to absorb. Equally wounded. a balanced person would know how not to absorb another person and how to empathically feel into what this person's going to think, using my logical mind of what's best for the situation, using my heart of how to create the best, using my, and it's like all of it. When you are balanced, you can be all of it. You can shield, you can be empathic, you can use your logical mind, you can speak from the heart. So as a child, if you learned how to block out how you feel, you might have to get used to tapping into those feelings of, okay, why am I angry? It's not just why am I angry? What is being triggered? Like why? Okay, so I have to speak on this topic as what I recently just healed was, and there was layers of this wound. This abandonment wound. Abandonment wound can be like lots of things. But why am I so drawn to this person? Why am I, it's like, why am I feeling the feelings that I'm feeling? Rather than just living life and being drawn to this person, I needed to tap into, why am I drawn? Why am I feeling this? Why am I experiencing this emotion? And it went down to that abandonment wound. So heal the abandonment wound, heal that, and I then shield myself from feeling that push-pull energy anymore. Okay? So a lot of times we got to dive deep into the underlying issue. It's not just I'm feeling angry. We got to dive deep. I just can't be like, this person's triggering me and it's them. I have to say, why am I being triggered? What is the underlying emotion? Where did this come from? Was it created in childhood? Is it a program? Like, am I just, I could go on forever on this topic. Am I being passive aggressive? Am I being aggressive? Or am I being assertive? Okay. What programs were I used to when I was born and raised? Was I surrounded by someone who was passive aggressive or aggressive, or was I surrounded by somebody who was quiet passive? I was surrounded by all these energies in school. Like, you had those kids who were assertive, you had the kids who were quiet like me, very passive, so it's learning how to be assertive. And okay, so now I'm off topic, but I wanted to come on here today about teaching you how to build your energetic shield. And if you're an empath and you're absorbing others, really tapping into that deep underlying issue of asking yourself, why am I still absorbing this? What do I still need to work on within myself? And if you're not used to absorbing other people, what in this situation do I need to feel deeper in? Why is this anger here to teach me? So if you have any questions, leave them in the comment box below, and I will try to go into more detail at a later time. And everybody have a blessed day. Bye.